Good morning, everybody. Hello to those of you that are joining us in World and those of you that are joining us here in Discord. For those of you that can't be in either place, hopefully you're watching the stream, and we thank you for doing that as well. This is our second Cedar Creek live broadcast. We are doing it this afternoon from our bowling alley in our array sim. Roscoe needs to stop spinning around. Already, we haven't even introduced people. Already having to scold the pet. We do have a little green space at our bowling alley for people to kind of sit and chill and relax, eat their food on a nice sunny day if they don't want to be in bowling or playing on the arcade games or anything. So that's the space we're utilizing this morning. Right now, you see me, and then I have got two of our moderating team up here. We have got Roscoe and KJ. Now, these are two of our newest moderators, but they are both very good at what they do. They are both very open to hearing all sides of the story, and they do a fantastic job at working with everybody to make sure that a common agreement is reached. So if you have any issues with any RPs, anything that an admin's not on immediately to take care of, like a griefer, not the little small returning of things, but the important stuff, then these are two of the others that you can go to on that. Usually, the rest of our moderating staff would be here, but I think we're a little early for them. They are our night owls. We have Lacey. She is one of our oldest moderators, not old as in age. She'd kill me for that, but as the longest withstanding moderator that we've had. We have Sassy Van Diesel, and we have Namora Emeritus. Many of you just call her Nim. It's a big mouthful to say. She's the one you read the long, huge chapter stories for in the roleplay channels whenever she's online and in a creative mood. But all of them are very easily reached through in-world connections, or if you get into the admin channel and ask for a moderator, then they will come and assist you with whatever it is that you need. And we're going to do the same thing we did last time. We'll be watching the OOC chat in Discord, and we'll be watching the nearby chat in World so we can answer any of the questions that you have. Oh, look, Chaz decided to join us in World too. There is about a 20-second delay, though, so if you are listening to the broadcast and not actually in one of the venues with us, and you send in a question, then please allow the appropriate time for it to be answered or for you to hear it on the stream. So, we have a few things to go over. Not really a whole lot. This is more of a hopefully. But you don't need to see anybody. Chaz is complaining that he can't see in the Discord. You just need to hear. But hopefully we get a few more questions from you guys than we did last time, because that does kind of help with the banter. It gets everybody nice and broken in and used to each other. So we want to make sure that you all feel comfortable coming to us with questions, and that hopefully we can answer what you may feel like is not getting answered in a timely manner up front, because we kind of get stuck when we're live. Can't not answer something. So, good excuse. But out in the audience with us in World, we've got Jezebel. And then we have, she's an MCSO K9, by the way. So also Roscoe is an MCSO K9. So if you guys have any questions about the MCSO, you could OOCly ask them about that. Or if you have any questions about working with dogs, period, or how to RP with them, stuff like that, they're both very open to assisting with those. We also have Tina Lynn. She is our resident blogger, vlogger, MCSO trainee, and real estate agent. So if you have any questions about any of that, she's the lady you want to talk to. She's also the one that we've been posting about in the OOC channel, a few scrolls up, who's been doing the articles on CC and has the new home tour video out. We have Jilly Faye with us, and she's got her little kitty cat too. She is one of the registered orphans at Little Wanderers. So if you have any interest in that, then you can pop on over there, or OOCly hop in her box. She might entertain some questions that way. And then these two, I swear. We've got Art, our fantastic event coordinator, who's been busting his butt on a lot of things. Hi, Art, since you're with us in Discord too. He is also the lead dispatcher for the MCSO and the CCFD, so he takes care of the vast majority of the 911 calls that you get are done by the responses that you get are by him and his team. So big shout out to them for that. And he's cuddling over there on the bench. He looks so nice and warm and yeah. Need to shove a board in between them and space them out. He is over there with our general manager, Furby. She is also over the orphanage and handles our DMV items. So if you have any DMV questions, you can get in touch with her. Now, before you guys drive her crazy, since I have said that, before you guys drive her crazy, DMV is processed on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you want your application processed on Monday, it has to be submitted by 11 o'clock Sunday night. If you want it processed on Wednesday, 11 o'clock Tuesday night. And if you would like it processed on Friday, 11 o'clock Thursday night, that is the cutoff. And so if it hasn't been past one of those days, don't message her asking her when to expect it. And don't message her asking her if you can speed up the process either. Everybody has to wait their turn. So keep that in mind before you jump in her box about DMV. She's also the one who's very quick to get to any of you who ask about DMV if you haven't received it or whatnot in the Discord. So make sure you have your Discord settings to where you either share a server and can be reached, or you have the lower security for the messages, because you could miss something that is in response to your question or inquiry. All right, now that we've gone over those two lovebirds, in the back, we have Hope. She is also an MCSO dispatcher, and she is opening a vet clinic here in CC. So if you have any interest in that, we do have her listed on the local business page on our website. So make sure and check that out if you need the URL for that. If not, I'm sure she'd be more than happy to send it to you if you hit her up in World. Yep, she is going to be our local veterinarian. That's the word I'm looking for. And she also takes care of emergency situations whenever it comes to vets. So, yeah, I'm sure she'll be seeing my two a lot. They like to get into a lot of trouble. Next to her, we've got Chaz. He is one of our local troublemakers. Likes to really ride that line of deciding if I want to string him up or if I want to pat him on the back for something. So you're looking to get into trouble. There's that. And then we have Amelie. So we really need to introduce Amelie and Chaz Seeley. But maybe, just maybe, she can quote unquote knock some sense into him. But she is a captain within our MCSO. And she is one of our, under wing, get rid of the bad habits, all that fun stuff. Start some kind of youth program, something. With kids not driving us crazy. Although his crazy is fun from time to time. But she is a captain with the MCSO, handles a lot of the training, a lot of the interviews. She is second in command to Hartley, our sheriff. So if you have any questions or anything, go ahead and get with Amelie. She has been with us for quite a while. She is one of our most outstanding deputies as well. So she's not going to BS you on anything or give you a runaround if she doesn't know the answer. She's always very quick to go and find out or confirm to make sure that she's giving you the right information. So you can have complete confidence whenever you talk to Amelie about anything MCSO related. Next to her, we've got Cade. I think that's whose cloud just rezzed. It is. He is our real estate manager. If you are looking for house swaps, if you are looking for an approved business, he's the man you talk to. Though house swaps, he's going to tell you got to submit a ticket. And they're not guaranteed. So while we are talking about tickets for a second, who just walked past? Thomas Johnson is here. He's with our CCFD. So, support tickets. Now, we understand that things can feel a little bit like an entitlement and not a request. I can promise you right now, just like whenever we deal with you, where you come to us or about something, or we come to you about something, you expect a certain level of respect and politeness to be used, because it goes a really long way whenever somebody is nice, calm, collected, respectful, uses their manners, things like that. That also comes to support tickets as well. Your house swap is not guaranteed. The colors you may want painted on the outside are not guaranteed. The moving of landscape is not guaranteed. The approval of your business is not guaranteed. The submittal of ideas that you may have, we take everything under advisement, and you will get a response. So make sure you're checking your emails and your junk folder for that response, because a lot of you say that you don't get responses to your tickets, and I can pull up the closed ticket and screenshot the response for you with the timestamp. So they are going, but you have to check the appropriate places. But when you submit those ideas and there's questions that follow, or there's information that's given, we do our absolute damnedest to be as detailed and thorough as possible, and to give you the amount of respect and politeness that more than what could possibly be deserved, or what you deserve, depending on if you're one of these people that I'm talking about right now. But a lot of the tickets that have been coming through lately are very crude, very demanding, and very push, push, push. I want this done in my time frame. Our people have real lives as well. They may be logged in, but they might not be at the computer at that time. Or maybe they're wanting to make sure they don't miss messages, so they leave themselves logged in while they go to work, while they deal with their family, while they take a class, while they do homework, while they cook, laundry, tend to their dogs, whatever it is. They have a real life. And as much as I love our residents and our citizens and our township visitors, it's becoming more common to think that they are going to jump as soon as you hit that enter button. And it needs to not be. This is a game and a business, but this is not the only life and the only job that they have. So please keep that in mind whenever you submit your tickets, and please keep that in mind whenever you reach it out to them through IMs or in Discord. Just because those venues are there doesn't mean that they're going to jump at it and respond to you immediately. So please just have the respect and the patience that they all deserve for their hard work that they do for the community. Now that I'm off my little soapbox for support tickets. Chaz. Oh, you and Amelie having a little side conversation. Okay. We're good with that. In Discord today, we have Art, Amelie. I don't know who Black M is, but hello to you. If you would like to throw your name into OOC so we can give you a proper hello, that'd be great too. We have Cody. He is also here enrolled with us, recording everything. So kudos to him for doing all this. Oh, well, welcome back, Blake. And then we have Connell. I thought Connell was out in the audience with us too. Did I miss him? May have. Oh, he poofed. That's okay. He's still in Discord with us. Then there's Furby and Hope. Jezebel is here. Jilly is in here. KJ, Roscoe, Thomas, Tina, Chaz. Basically, everybody who was with us in World is here in Discord with us. Hope says, honestly, having come from another RP sim to CC, I've been impressed with response time and tickets. Having communicated with both you and Kate over things, I have received polite and timely responses, even when it has been, and the stream got in the way, a no, and the no was explained. Well, good. I'm glad that's the experience you're having. And if you do ever get just a straight no, You must have caught us on a really super off day, or be Chaz. Because that's another thing that we push to make sure we do is if you get to know that there's an explanation as to why. And 9 times out of 10, even that explanation is giving you ideas as to how to make it work in a different format. So that way we can try and work together to help whatever it is that you want to achieve come to fruition without completely breaking the foundation that CC's built on. So, hello to whoever just came in. Alexia. Hi, Alexia. So, there's that trouble alert. Yep. If you don't feel comfortable publicly posting any questions, either in world or in the OOC chat, just go ahead and shoot me an IM and we will get those taken care of as well. I'll make sure and read them out, not who sent it to me, but what the question is, so that way everybody is on track with that. I need to switch screens here so I can see. Give me 1 second. Ta-da! Okay, so we have gone over the support ticket thing. That was not planned at all. Sorry for that rant, but it's becoming an issue. And we do have plenty of, there a lot of you, please don't take it the wrong way, but a lot of you are very polite and very well-mannered, and we sincerely appreciate that. And it's appreciated more than you understand, especially with as much as these real estate agents deal with and as much as the staff from all of the departments has to deal with, and then even the GMs and moderators, like what they deal with on a weekly basis. Just the random, sorry to bother you, or can you take care of this for me, please, or a thank you, like those go so far right now with the counter that we've got over time that it's unbelievable. And politeness and manners will get you it'll try to think of the right way to phrase this. It'll get you a much more sincere professional response, if that makes sense. Instead of it being one of these, I just have to be nice because it's my job. It'll actually have more meaning to it. And yes, it does get you more sugar. Tina, that is not what I'm talking about. You know that. Yes, you did. Yeah. So every great once in a while, you might see a random tree with some odd texture on it. If you do, just throw it in the admin channel. We'll come by and fix it. I'm not going to say who may have textured it, but sometimes it happens. Maybe things get dragged and you don't mean to, but it's okay. As long as you don't texture an entire outside of a building that way. That, or pull an Alexia and texture the entire inside of the PSB. Yeah, that was fun. That text. I think I broke something. Oh boy, did you ever? So Hope has asked if some of the venues around town are available to rent or book with the events team for things like weddings and whatnot, and they are. So all you have to do is submit your request at least 2 weeks in advance, and you can find the request form on the events page of our website. There's also a link for it pinned in the events channel. Now, it's not necessarily guaranteed that they can do all of the work that you may need, because if they have something going on, but your event, we still want to make sure your event gets going. Hello, Andrew. Then yes, the 2 weeks is very important. That they can get it scheduled for you and do a lot of the background stuff, but they might not necessarily be able to be there. The event request also doesn't promise that they'll be able to do everything, but they do their damnedest to try and get all of that done. I think we've only ever had it happen once where we could not do the event, even with the 2 week time frame. But the public venues like the bowling alley, the Cedar Hollow event barn, the event space in the aviary, there's that little tucked garden in Lakeside. There's the outdoor area in Summer Romance. There is what's the thing called? The Spruce? I can't remember everything. There's the Spruce Thank You Art on Array on the Riverwalk. There's that open space in front of the Welcome Center. Basically anything that says Craddock on it, anything that says Fast Shot or Furby is free and open pretty much to be used as long as we just have at least that 2-week advance. Now, if you're wanting to use one of the public businesses, those are rented by individuals. So all you have to do is contact them to make sure that it's okay and then submit your request. A lot of the local business owners will actually work with us when it comes to events like we've done one at Kendall's. Whenever AJ's bar first got here, we had a few rounds on that, and we use his place every March as well for the pub crawl. Oh Jesus! But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. You've got Wicked Spirits, and then there's Bayou on the Bay over in Cedar Bay. That is a nice little restaurant that I'm sure they wouldn't mind allowing an event to go on there. There's Wiggins and the library. There's the tattoo parlor. There's a beauty shop that's getting ready to open and have their grand opening here in about, they're going to do their grand opening in a month. But she's already sent everything in for that. Furby, we already answered the question. No, kids cannot get tattoos. But you don't need to. That's what we're here for the talk show, is to answer all the questions on voice. Yeah. So, ideally, kid tattoos. Ideally, parents' permission. If it's one of those that you can clean off, you know what I mean? Like the temporary tattoos, perfectly fine. Ideally, common sense. It's your parents' permission. Or if you're over the age of 16. Well, seeing how URP is 15, no, you cannot. Sorry, dear. Now, here's your explanation to go with your no. Don't start taking your little walk of shame yet. I'm about to give you an out. You just need to be patient. If you ideally get it done and the RP is appropriate enough to explain them doing it illegally, or you getting it done from, say, some tattoo guy that works out of his house and doesn't actually have a business, even if you had parents, they'd just be pissed off and probably go and try and sue the guy. You get my drift? So, no an explanation. But yeah, events wise, everything is pretty much open, just with enough notice and enough communication. I have no doubt that you'll find a way to get a very inappropriate tattoo. You wouldn't be Chaz if you didn't. I'm just waiting to see what other comment there is for that. We've already gone over worked for a certain president. Oh, Jesus. We've already gone over the moderators and how to reach out to them and who they are. If you have any questions directly for them, feel free to jump in their box. If anything does come up that pet related or whatnot, we'll more than likely unmute Roscoe and let him answer that. Excuse me, if you have anything kid related and you don't feel like going to the regular kid people, KJ is a great go-to on that. She's got an awesome way of finding a balance to kind of help you guys to meander your way through RPs when they're pushing those boundaries, but to still keep it. No, you're a moderator, kid people. KJ's fussing because I said not a regular kid people. For those of you who can't see our Discord. But there is a. Now you made me lose my train of thought. She's good at helping you find that balance. That's where I was going with that. And Alexia has now joined us in World, so welcome to you. Can I fill the lake with a bubble solution and not get in trouble? No, you cannot. But now that we're on the lake, we are working, because this has come up again in one of our exit surveys. So for those of you who don't know what an exit survey is, when you leave Cedar Creek and you give up your rental or you end your residential period with us, you are sent an exit survey by our real estate agents. Those exit surveys get reviewed to help us improve whatever it is that's going on, or to help us understand why people leave. If there's a common theme between them, then it kind of alludes us to any issues that we may have. Now, while this was talked about at the last radio show, technically, KJ, that's not a valid point, but you'll understand why in a second. We're going to go over it again because it did come up in the exit surveys. We are looking to try and find things to put into the water. Right now, there is no plant life, there is no animal life, or fish life, marine life. That's the word I'm looking for. There's no marine life. The reason for that is because we have always demanded a certain quality within Cedar Creek. Lake life right now does not lend to the quality that we demand for Cedar Creek. I'm not putting some sculpty, over-the-top primmy, damn yellow duck, top primmy, flat, circling little thing into the lake. It's just not happening. They are man-made lakes, so it is possible for us to go in and put whatever plant life that would survive the type of water, whatever marine life that would survive that type of water. But it is going to take time for us to find those and get that done. Slowly, creators are starting to come out with things, and we are working on a few things on our own to try and get the lakes populated and more decorated. So it will happen in time, but it's not something that's going to be, no, we're not having a monster of Lake Jasper, Jezebel. But it is not going to be something that happens immediately, because the quality of items to match with the prims that we have to do the decorating across the multitude of sims that especially Lake Jasper covers, it's just not there SL-wise yet. We did get a question in Discord. That is not appropriate. I will look into that later. So if you are the person who just messaged me in Discord, I will respond to you later, but thank you in advance. Sorry for that, folks. I really should read things before I say, hey, we have a question here, because it's not a question for the radio show. KJ is having issues or was having issues. I guess KJ is good now. Oh, yep. Okay, she's good. And so that should cover the lake thing. Any questions while we're on the topic about decor or things that you, or any ideas for things that you would like to see in Cedar Creek? And while you guys throw those in, I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple more businesses that we have in CC. Goodbye to whoever just left. So Thomas has asked what the building to next to the FD is. So are you talking about on the left side of the FD or on the right side of the FD? Because there's two different ones. But yes, it also gives us a good lead into talking about a couple businesses. So if you're facing the FD, to the left there is a garage, a gas station mechanic. That is Al's garage. So the pumps do work. You can go by, you can fill your car up, you can RP having your car worked on, and everything else. On the right side of it, if you're facing it, is a skating rink. It's very easy to figure out what that is if you walk into it. I know it sounds like I'm being a smartass here, and I kind of am. If you're trying to figure out what something is for weeks, try walking to it and going in. Because there is this big, huge skating rink. It's got pretty little lights all over the place. There's skates. There's a skate giver on the wall. There's some snacks and stuff that you can get in there. It's also a great place to have a party. Just going to throw that out there for those of you that are looking to hold events, somewhere to do a birthday party, stuff like that. It's also getting to be, we seem to start hitting on the skating rink when it comes to events as summer kind of dies down. And it's not so great to be out at the lakes and everything else. So you'll probably start seeing some events with those coming up soon. Yes, there is an NPC attendant there, as Lexia has pointed out, who does seem to have restless leg syndrome. She can't stop moving. And so if for some reason you can get alcohol, let's hit on that too. If you can get alcohol out of anything in CC, and you are ICE under the age of 21, you can assume that you were carded. Throw that out there real quick. Unless there's an actual active RP going. Now, if you are actually interacting with a live bartender and not an empty counter or an NPC, then if that bartender doesn't card you, that's on them. But if you go to any of the businesses and it's an empty counter where you can just grab drinks, or there is an NPC standing there, please assume that you are carded. Thank you, Hope. I will talk to you later about that. Maybe get some info. We have Alec joining us in World and Anne. Luna has stepped in. There's Chelsea. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Andrew has come on by as well, but it seems that he has crashed. So as chairs res in for you, if you guys will just take a seat, go ahead and turn off any AOs or anything like that, if possible. That way we can try and help minimize everyone's crashing or any lag or whatnot. It is kind of an odd day to be doing this first thing in the morning, well, SL morning on a Sunday, but we do appreciate everybody's patience and whatnot on that. Oh, Chaz is typing again. You better wait and see. Possibly, maybe. Well, it's not really all that laggy. I can cam around and actually look at people. I couldn't do that at the last one we had. So you should be good. But yeah, no, it's not bad. I just know that sometimes whenever some get into a setting where there's more than 5 or 6 people, that it tends to do a little damage to their graphics and whatnot. And goodbye SL. It just drops like flies. You should work on your PC not sucking. That might be more helpful, Chaz. So, our 2 criminal moderators are not here. I was really kind of hoping they'd be able to be on this morning, because I do want to go over criminal acts within CC. They are highly encouraged. Don't take it the wrong way. While they are highly encouraged, because it does give our MCSO something to do outside of their mundane let's go and ticket cars or whatever. It gives them more interaction. But the whole point in a criminal RP is that interaction. So we need to make sure that evidence boxes are being put out. And it's very easy to do. You can get a free note card giver script if you need one. I'll send you one. You just create a little box, throw the note card giver in there, and they can click on it and get the information. Or drop it on the body if the body is full perm and there's a body there, or the car that if it's been stolen, whatever. But there needs to be something that allows for that interaction. Now, your RP post for that should also not just happen local, but go into township. Because if there's other people around, then ideally they might be able to see you. They might be able to give information if there's witnesses for the MCSO to talk to. Or if somebody is on patrol in that area, then it gives them the ability to respond to that. If it would have been a loud sound or whatnot, if there's an explosion, or if somebody's driving through crazily and they've got the radio blasting and everybody can hear it because it's rattling their windows, but they have to have that IC information to go off of. If it's not there, then the whole meat of your RP is all one-sided, and that doesn't make it fun really for anybody. So we need to try and keep those criminal RPs interactive. Don't expect that you're always going to get away with it. Don't expect that you're always going to get caught. But when it doesn't go your way or the way that you originally envisioned it, don't expect that it's going to get voided either. RP is a story. It is an imagination that pours out of every single person that is involved in that story. It does not have a set course. It does not have a script for you to follow. And if you've tried to create one for it, the RP becomes boring. It's a chance for everybody's creativity to shine, for them to further their characters, to help you further yours, to discover things that they might enjoy that they didn't originally think that they would. But they have to have the freedom to be able to do that. And because of that, RP is not always going to end the way you want it to. Yes, as KJ says, RP becomes God modding if you are telling people what they are doing. And yes, Cody, Nim does drive through town all the time with her music blaring and the fucking top on that car down. You can hear her icily blocks away. You always know that it's Nim. Always know that it's Nim. But things like that give everybody the ability to respond to them. Now, the MCSO doesn't expect to win every case, especially lately, and I understand that frustration. But the courts, the private attorneys, the public defenders, they also should not expect to win every case either. Criminals are going to lose. Criminals are going to win. That's the nature of the game. If we're not following that, if we're letting everybody get away with every single thing, then there's no point in having our police department. We might as well just become Crackdown and let everybody run around and do crazy things. But that's not what CC's about. CC is about that interaction. About, well, if you like that Crackdown idea, then go there. That's not what our community is. It's not going to be that. We're not trying to be like somebody else. We're trying to be Cedar Creek. And that means that when you perform IC actions, there are IC consequences. And if it's a criminal role play, there's consequences. You break the law, there's consequences. You go to jail, there's consequences. You end up with a felony, there's consequences. That's our foundation. A realistic role play that still allows for everybody to have their creative sense and to tell their story. Yes, that was a stab at you, and thank you for noticing that. But like I said, the MCSO doesn't expect to catch everybody. They expect to catch a few. And even whenever they do catch you guys, I would say a good 7 out of 10 times, They come up with ways, especially if it's a really good RP or it's a really good story, and they can tell from the evidence and from what's been left behind that other things are to come, then they will purposely miss some things in order to allow those RPs to continue, because they want to enjoy that too. They don't want to be able to look at it and be like, okay, I could catch this person right now. I got you, Alexa. You need to give me a minute. I can catch this person right now. Every single time. They don't want to do that. They want to give the criminals a chance to expand and to do their thing too. So everybody just needs to kind of remember that you need to allow for everybody's creativity. If it doesn't go your way, it's not going to be voided. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So we have a question on voiding RP. Voiding a role play is something only moderators and management can do. Is that true? Yes, it is. The people involved in the RP, they don't, as an individual, let me be very clear on that. As an individual, do not have the right to void an RP, especially whenever there's other people involved, because you cannot make that decision for everybody. Moderators and admins are the only ones who can do that. And we also only do it whenever it is a last resort. We will work to try and find a way, if we have to rewind it a little bit and go again, or to make the current RP work. But voiding is a very, very last resort. That should clear that one. Yeah. So please just try and keep all of that in mind. I know it was a lot whenever you do your criminal activity. Also remember that Cedar Creek has its own set of laws. We don't follow US law and mandate. We don't follow Colorado state law and mandate. We follow Cedar Creek laws. They're public, they're on the website. There's links for them in the covenant, if I'm not mistaken. So it's easily accessible for you guys to see. There's no, well, Colorado state law says this. In real life, Colorado state law says that. That's not how we work. This isn't real life, this is Second Life. So any questions, comments, concerns on criminal RP or voiding of things? Tina says, I really like that we don't follow real life laws. It's so much funner. It is to an extent. But real life law is just, it's too strict whenever it comes to a venue like this. It doesn't allow for that extra creativity, that extra leeway that Second Life needs in order to be fun. Oh, Lord, I'm not saying that, KJ. It was hard to say funner. But yeah, no, not real life law. If we did that, then nobody would be able to do anything. And Cedar Creek would just be this boring town of 14 Sims with a bunch of houses, and that's not what we're looking for here. You could keep your Texas talk. No problem with your Texas talk. KJ, just, yeah, no. Excuse me. Y'all gotta start coming up with questions. Things that give my voice a break. I have missed it, so if somebody could repost it. Oh, never mind, I see it. And so Jilly has asked, what happens when someone comes into one of the subgroups, like Little Wanderers, with no intention to RP, but is suspected of an agenda? So we can't really do a lot with suspicions. Because if we do, then ain't nobody doing nothing. There's way too many suspicions whenever you go based off of a certain, especially with the way some profiles read and with the way some pictures are and where they are choose to RP or whether choose not to RP. We really can't work off suspicions, so we kind of have to have a bit of proof for that. But Little Wonders is an IC and kind of an OOC place. So for that group, whenever somebody comes in with no intention to RP, they may just be looking for a family that wants to OOC adopt them and doesn't want to go through the IC process. Yes, KJ, unless it specifies it is IC, all profiles are to be considered OOC. But if they come in and they're just acting really off, if that's what you mean, they're kind of giving you that really weird vibe. I try to give everybody a chance, a benefit of the doubt kind of option. So even if they do kind of give me that weird vibe from the get-go, I give them a chance to prove me wrong. And I'm hoping that that's what they do, is that they prove me wrong. If they don't, then there's that proof. It sounds terrible to say it that way because it's almost like you're trying to entrap them, but you're not. You're trying to get to know them to see if you're mistaken, if your gut's telling you the wrong thing based off of previous experiences. But it's also one of those things where if they're known for something, you can talk to an admin. For you, that would be Furby. Let her know. She's really good about getting to me whenever there are kind of off things going on, and we'll watch it and keep a close eye just to make sure that everything continues to go okay. And if it doesn't, oh Lord have mercy, that's a lot of colors. If it doesn't, then then at least we've got a heads up on it to follow through and respond a bit quicker. But yeah, suspicions are really hard for us to work off of. And it's not meant as a slight against anybody. I mean, people have suspicions on certain actions because of things that they've gone through or because they know somebody. But we can't work off of that. Thank you, Chaz. I appreciate that. We can't work off of that as much as we can work off of, say, like a screenshot or a definite. It's something we'll keep an eye on, but it's not something we'll go hardcore at just yet. And yes, Amelie, Chaz can be a good guy whenever he wants to. And we've started to see more of that lately, but it didn't always used to be that way. Did I miss anybody else's question, or did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. Hello, Kat. Katrina from the fire department has joined us in world as well. Welcome, welcome. No, it's not the pick on Chaz. So yeah, no, we're not giving you your own show. That's not happening. I don't feel like dealing with all of that PR nightmare. So a little back history with Chaz, and then everybody will kind of understand. Yeah, and I'm glad Cody doesn't have the final say on things a lot. So whenever Chaz first came here, we all kind of had our ups and downs whenever it came to Chaz. There were a few discussions, a few comments. Every now and then he still finds his name being tossed around amongst the admins. But usually whenever we would go to Chaz and say, hey, A, B, and C is not working right now, this is the problem we're having, kind of need to straighten it up and pull back on the reins, then he will. It's one of those, he's true to that teenage RP, push and push and push until you get a certain amount of pushback, and then you dial it back. So it took a bit for us to learn that with Chaz and to find a way to speak with him in order to come to a common understanding, we'll put that way, on some things, and to reel back so that way he can still be Chaz and we can not feel like our heads are going to explode. So, and every once in a while, somebody will come along that really knows how to push his buttons the way he pushes his button, the way he tries to push buttons. And we'll go through a little bit of our roller coaster ride again. And it works its way out one way or another. So I think we've all kind of found that common understanding. So Chaz gives us trouble and we pick on him for it. It's that love-hate relationship. What the heck is that? Somebody message and explain that to Cody, please. One of the greatest grocery stores. We don't have it here in North Carolina, but they've got it out there in the Midwest. Midwest, yeah, it'd be Midwest. That's not sad for me. Well, we've got Food Lion and Harris Teeter, Lowe's Foods, Kroger's, Aldi's, Walmart Express, IGA's, Piggly Wiggly's, Publix, Safeways, and Winn-Dixie's. Yeah, we got all that too. Yeah, so here we call that organic food. And our farmers actually sell them in stands on the side of the road and at farmers markets. So we don't have to go to a grocery store for it. We can go experience a true farmers market. I love our farmers market. And while we're off on our little tangent about farmers markets and fresh and organic food, if anybody has any questions, feel free to post that. We used to have a CC farmers market. It was actually before your time, Cody. Where the windmill is in Summer Romance, we actually had a whole farmers market thing all set up. We had stalls, lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, apples, the whole nine. However, the issue with it is it was never used. We also would swap out, that looks delicious. We also would swap out those stalls for whenever people had, what was it at that time? Life 2 products, I think is what they had. And it was right around the time when BU was coming out. So we would allow people to, for free of charge, use those booths to sell their Life and BU items. But it didn't last very long because they didn't get used very often. And we had some who we did a whole entire BU market before we finally got rid of it. And most of those items sat there and sat there and sat there. So it became one of those useless things in CC when we could use that space for something better. And then it became a preschool, and then it turned into, what did we do after the preschool? Oh, we'd had the apple farm because we got rid of the preschool right around the time we did the fall fest for that year. So we turned it into a big, huge apple picking and cider area. And then we turned it into the stables. This is the second time it's been stables. So hopefully it stays stables this time. So while that is stuff that we don't have a problem with, you guys, so in case anybody doesn't see it, Tina has asked if we can get more BU stuff around CC. That's all on you. That's not something that we're going to provide for you. You guys can set up BU stalls. You guys can do BU shops, all that. But that's not, hello, Tucker. That's not something that, there's not really an easier way to say this. That's not something we're going to fork the money out for. Because Life HUD stuff, it comes and goes so quickly. By the time we make a big enough investment into it for it to be something sustainable throughout Cedar Creek, there's going to be something else. We tried that with Life and Life 2, and it turned into a disaster. So if you want to use the BU stuff, you guys are more than welcome to. You want to use the DFS things, you guys are more than welcome to. People are even welcome to sell it within town. But it's whenever it comes to furniture and stuff like that, we're not going to throw the scripts or buy their particular furniture into things publicly around CC. So, but yeah, no, you guys are more than welcome if you want to do BU stuff around town to, like I said, sell your items and do your cooking, planting. As long as you got the prims for it on your property, you're good to go. Yep, and could. All you got to do is get with the events team for it. Cade said, as my response to that, by the way, Cade said that you guys could network with your neighbors who grow BU items and make your own little swap day. And then Hope suggested a flea market day. So, flea market thing, we do that a couple times a year, where we will actually set up for you guys to come and sell gotcha items and things that are transferable and whatnot, for that to kind of help you guys clear out your inventory. Oddly enough, it usually follows after I spend a few weeks trying to organize my inventory and give up on that and say, hey, there's a bunch of crap I want to give away to people. Let's let everybody have a flea market. So, but yeah, whenever we do something like that, you guys are more than welcome to put your items up whenever it comes to that too. Not that kind of flea market, Jezebel, and you don't have fleas. If you do, you can have another bath. Jezebel hates baths, by the way. We'll just take you to the vet clinic, and they can give you a nice good rub down for flea treatment. She's a screaming no at me. Roscoe loves the water. I don't have to worry about him. I just give him his monthly dose and he jumps in and out of the water. If there's any hope for a flea to be on him, it's gone after about 3 or 4 days. Roll in more dead things with me. Oh my god. Please don't roll in more dead things. All right, guys. So, before another question or whatnot comes in, I'm going to cover the events we have coming up this week. So, we have today, right? I have to get my head straight too, apparently. With the radio show, Sundays officially kicks off our event week, just in case anybody wasn't aware of that. So if you have an event that you're going to request and you're going to have it done on a Monday, your advertisement notice for it, the very first one where it goes in the list of everything we have going on, isn't going out till Sunday. So keep that in mind whenever you're requesting events. Don't come at me fussing about, well, I didn't get advertised quick enough. You can see in the events channel that our advertising on Sunday starts for that Sunday all the way through. So please keep that in mind when you request an event. Tomorrow and Tuesday, we are actually going to be doing an open registration for students at Pinewood. We're going to get set up in the hall of the office. I have to go by and get all that set up tonight. And we're actually going to be giving away a few things. So we're going to give away a backpack, and it's going to be stuffed with a couple of school items. But it's going to be open registration. You'll get your invite to the school group then, as long as you're within age and all that fun stuff. You'll be given the links to everything that you need, and we'll get you into the school server too. So everything will be taken care of right then and there. On Monday, that's going to be from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Pinewood. On Tuesday, that is going to be from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So we're going to give you 2 different time slots so that way we can cover the multitude of time zones that are here in Cedar Creek. Now, on Wednesday and every Wednesday, we have open traffic court. That is, of course, at the courthouse on Lakeside. We're not going to do open traffic court at the park or anything like that. But that starts at 3 p.m. So whenever you do that, you can get a hearing scheduled for you to try and fight your traffic citation. You can pay your traffic citations, or if they're feeling lovely enough, they might even go ahead and reduce it and get it taken care of then and there. But if it's something that would require a more in-depth look into, they're probably going to schedule you for a future date. But you can take care of all of that every Wednesday at 3 p.m. SLT. On Thursday, our Diamond family is back in town and opening up their speed shop again. So they will be doing their grand reopening for the Diamond Speed Shop in Huntington Valley. That will be on Thursday night from 5 to 7 p.m. The SL URLs will be included in all these notices whenever they go out. On Friday is August 13th. So we are going to have a Friday the 13th party at Pinewood Public School. Now, before everybody goes and gets excited, this is for the kids. Nope, this is going to be a kids-only party from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. SLT. 17 and under. We have done, see, I knew everybody's gonna be like, no, that's not fair, but I want to join. Yeah, that's great. Fantastic. I'm glad you all want to join. But this week we're going to make it all about the kids. Usually we do a whole lot and it centers around adults or it centers around teens, like Jack brought up last week. And we don't really have a lot of. Katrina, if you make me have to check IDs whenever these people come to the door, we're going to have a problem. It's going to icily be discussed with your chief. But yeah, so it's going to be a Friday the 13th party for the kids from 2 to 4. There will be enough adult supervision, so myself and whoever I can get as chaperones, I'll do that. So I will look for three chaperones. The first 3 people who can make it from 2 to 4. Chaz, you're 15, you're not chaperoning. The first 3 people who can message me and can actually be there from 2 to 4 p.m. SLT on Friday, who are over the age of 18, will be permitted at the kids' party. But we are going to kind of promote the school a bit. Everybody's going to have to walk through in order to get to the gym, which is where the party is going to be. And we're going to have 2 contests for that as well. We are going to do a lending giveaway for each contest. One contest is going to be for the scariest outfit, and one contest is going to be for the weirdest outfit. No, it does not. However, these costumes are just that, costumes. They cannot, and it will stand for grounds on disqualification, they cannot be a complete avatar change. All real weapons will have to be, what is going on with Cody? All real weapons will have to be checked at the door. You're not supposed to bring them onto school premises anyway. So since it's going to be a rubber knife, Chaz, there would be no need to sharpen it, right? Right, that's what I thought. So Nim, I think, has actually just arrived. Welcome, welcome. She had some real life things to tend to this morning. So Cody, I think, is going to be able to get a shot of her when she gets rezzed in, but she is off to my right. She is one of our lead moderators as well, and she is also a criminal in CC as well as a doctor at CCMH. And now back to our activities. Yeah, the Friday the 13th party is going to be for children from 2 to 4, and we'll have 2 linen giveaway contests. We're going to get the gym all decked out and decorated. We'll have food and drinks. I would love to have a kid DJ if anybody knows one. If not, then we'll get a regular adult DJ, but I would love to have a kid DJ be featured since it is a kid event. So if you know one, send them my way or let me know. My gun is still ejecting shells. Oh my God, Nim. When SL throws you technical difficulties. Probably going to have to holster or unholster it and reholster it. That's what we have to do when the MCO1s mess up. She's having difficulties with her pistol right now. That would be fantastic, Hope. Just send me, I've already got an IM open with you, so I'll talk to you about that after we get done with this radio show. I can't. Words. All right, so Nim is in. Lacey is on her way as well. I wonder what you two are doing since you're both arriving at about the same time. All right, as Lacey gets landed and loaded in, she is also one of our moderators and a criminal. So if you have any questions on moderating, any of the 4 up here you'll be able to talk to. The only one we're missing now is Sassy, but again, she, like Nim this morning, had some real life stuff to take care of. And if you have any questions about criminal activity, then Nim and Lacey will be your go-tos as well. They can also set you up with those evidence boxes. I think they have those pre-made, note card ready and all. That is all of the events for next week. If you have any event ideas, Art posted a link to the page earlier. You can go to the website and submit your event ideas through the support ticket system. You can message us too if you would prefer that. I would personally prefer that you do it through the support ticket system simply because it's easier for us to track. And if for some reason I forget to make a note of it, I've got a folder set up within our ticket system that I can easily reference it for event ideas and whatnot. So it helps to kind of keep it all in one location. Oh, so to get into next week's events as well, just a little bit, Art has got a social coming up on that Monday. It will be a nifty little bingo event, so make sure you guys look out for the details on that too. Oh, a week long? Nice. The details for this are really neat. So, hold on just a second. I'll tell you real quick. No, you do not. You do not have to be over the age of 18 for that. So whenever the details go out, you guys will see what we mean. It's gonna get you all kind of out and about, mingling with each other. It'll be truly a social bingo. And you'll get that whenever Art sends out the details. So it'll be nice and fun. I think I might actually do that one too. Yeah, you will notice, and like we try to get to a lot of the events, and I do sincerely apologize whenever we don't get to them, but we have a lot of little projects going on in the background to try and accommodate some of the requests that have been made and to get ready for whenever we do get a new sim and to make subtle changes here and there in CC. And a lot of the times whenever the events team has their events going on, it keeps everybody busy. So it's the perfect opportunity for us to go and get some of that work done so that afterwards we can get out and be a little more social through town. So I do apologize in advance if you don't see us at events as much as you would like. We are trying to get out to them more often, but it is a work in progress because it is something that we have to change about ourselves too, and change comes with practice. It doesn't come immediately. So we do apologize for that, but we are working on it. Oh, my screen is stuck on your social bingo event. Damn it. I fixed it. It didn't want to close it. So, but that is all of that. What I'd probably be in the weirdest costume. Well, seeing how you don't have a teen avatar, Alexia, or a kid avatar, you can't really participate. So, weirdest costume or not, you'd be out. If you guys do have any ideas, especially for kid-related events, throw them at us. Use that support ticket system so we can see that. Y'all know what you want to see. You guys know what you want to do. What kind of events would be entertaining to you? And like, we need the assistance with that. They're submitting ideas on the support ticket system. They're not doing an event request, KJ. I mean, yeah, just get those ideas to us. And I mean, we try to take it and run with it to give you different things to do. Art is really good at taking ideas and kind of creating a cohesive event that fulfills more than one or two of those. He's very good with out of the box thinking too. Cam is getting ready to be coming back from her leave of absence due to real life work. So she'll be getting back on events and helping with those. And she's like Art with her out of the box ideas as well. So hopefully between the two of them, myself and the rest of the team, we'll be able to start getting some more things out that you guys want to do. But if you're not liking what you're seeing, and you're not saying anything about it, we don't know that it needs to change. That you have to be vocal about what you're enjoying and what you're not enjoying. So Tina says we need some ratchet criminal events. We do, but that's on the criminals to come up with. So I know Art has got some ideas for doing little criminal events, but the thing is when we have to be really careful with criminal events, because if it's publicly ICELY advertised, right? If it's ICELY advertised, who do you think is going to show up at the criminal events besides the criminals? Hello, shiny little badge. Here's my folder of warrants. That's how that's going to go. So, which I don't blame them. ICELY, that would be the smart thing to do. Wait, they're all going to be in one spot. Let's go. So, it's a little hard, excuse me, to do a public event like that, and to keep it icy. And we try to keep as many of our events icy as possible. We don't follow the strict icy guidelines with like post order. That just gets too crazy whenever you have 15, 20 people around. But if they do have their own little group where they can get in and they can organize things. So if we were to do an underground party like that, then that is where it would get advertised. A public notice for that in the township group would be a little hard to explain. We'd have to figure out a different way to go about doing that. So it's something that has to be strictly coordinated with the criminals. They're going to have to reach out to the people they know and find ways to, there's air quotes going on here that you guys can't see, find ways to post about their little shindig without alerting the MCSO to it. Now, on the flip side of that, we also have to watch the possible god modding, metagaming. That's what I'm looking for. But I'm pretty sure Amelie and Hartley could keep that under wraps. I don't even want to know where you found the wine. Yes, KJ, that is also how they catch a good bit of people. KJ says they've done that in real life. If you have any issues during your drug deal with the buyer, feel free to call the police. They'll make sure that it goes down correctly. Hello to those who keep coming in. Welcome, welcome. Who popped in? Emmy is here. Hello, Emmy. Chelsea's with us in real too, so is Kat and Luna. Already said hi to them. Tucker, Nim, and Lacey have joined us. All right, guys. So we have pretty much covered everything that I had jotted down for like a filler in case there weren't enough questions. The only thing we have left, oh, Thomas, we're not going over all of that, honey. You're going to have to just, Thomas asked what he missed. You're going to have to just catch up whenever you can go back and replay the show. The only thing I have really left to go over is real life in RP. So if you have any questions or anything that you want to throw in and interrupt me while I'm covering this, I am more than happy to address them immediately. So go ahead and start throwing those in while I kick off this rant. Second Life in CC is just that. It is SL. It is not RL. Your real life job, your real life experience and knowledge, and please don't take this the way as harsh as it's going to sound. It has no bearing. It's not important here. When you're doing an RP, if it's not something that your character knows, it's not something that you need to bring up. You don't get to pause it and say, but in real life this, or my real life experience is this, and my real life that. That doesn't work. It's not how RP rolls. Real life does not make a difference. Lacey says Lacey doesn't do meth. I can guarantee you that that child does not do meth. That's probably one of the only things that her mother would skin her for. But yeah, your real life has no bearing when it comes to how an RP progresses. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're a real life doctor and you role play a doctor in CC, that's perfect. Your real life knowledge and experience correlates to your second life character. It doesn't, if you're a real life doctor and you decide you want to run a shoe store or be a lawyer in Second Life, your real life experience has no bearing on what your IC lawyer in Second Life does. So there's no room for comments like that to be made. Well, real life law says this. That's fantastic. What does our CC law say? Well, a real life doctor would do this. The real life injuries would be this. The real life consequences would be this. Fantastic. This is in real life. Nim, stop lying. So to pause an RP and to go, but in real life it would be ABC because I know that. No, that's not it. We want to keep things realistic, but if you'll notice, we don't ever go when we go to an RP scene where there's an issue and say, but in real life it's A, B, C, and D. We talk to parties involved, we get the information needed, and we go, okay, realistically, with what's been done, this is how this can flow. Or based off of the covenant, E, F, and G aren't allowed. Let's circle back to A and figure out how to get to C by abiding by the covenant. Or find a realistic track for it. We're not going to stand there and go, yes, but a real life police officer does this, this, and that. Or a real life criminal isn't going to do this, this, and that. Or a real life lawyer is going to say this, and that wouldn't fly in real life because of this. That's not how it works. So please, whenever you guys have issues, try to leave the real life aspect out of it. Exactly. And it is in the covenant. So it's not one of those where you can say, well, this isn't covered in your covenant. Yes, it is. And as Alexia just posted, it is in our covenant under section 3.1, and it is paragraph 19. During an RP, real life experience should not be brought up. If you do not agree with something, handle it icily or stir the RP in a different direction. Whatever your real life experience is, it has no bearing, even in an OOC format, on an RP. You don't get to scold people for it either. I don't play a city council. I play a city council person in Second Life. I have a business in Second Life. I run real estate, event coordination, interior design, landscaping. I do all of that in Second Life. The only interior design I do in my real life is my own house. The only aspect of my real life that mimics my Second Life is the bookkeeping. I keep all the books for CC. Doing that for Cedar Creek has actually led me to pursue a degree in accounting and finance in real life. That's the only two that correlate. I have kids in real life, but they're not grown and they're not criminal bosses like I have in Second Life. I've got a dog in real life. She's a yellow golden retriever chow mix. But in Second Life, I've got two of the blackest dogs you've seen in Cedar Creek. Well, they're on the stage. Yes, they are the best dogs in SL. Speaking of children, give me just 1 second. Sorry about that. I had a child come up and ask something. Yeah, so your real life isn't always going to mimic your SL. Your SL isn't always going to mimic your real life. It's not meant to be that way. It's literally to be a Second Life for everybody have a chance to do things that they could not do without the real life ramifications and without the real life stress, training, education, and all of that. So if you're Joe Blow from Idaho and you want to be a real estate mogul in a game, Second Life's your place. If you're an IT specialist, and if this is accurate, I'm going to be shocked as hell, but if you're an IT specialist and you want to be a real estate manager, CC's your place. If you're somebody who does linguistics and you want to be a firefighter, CC's the place for you. If you have never ridden in a cop car, never been arrested, never gone to BLET training, never worn a badge, have no idea how to shoot a gun, any of that, but you want to play a deputy, CC's the place for you. We are all about people having the experiences that they would not get. And Alexa, you shouldn't feel attacked. It's a really good point. Alexia is one of them. She does something in real life completely and drastically different from what she does in SL. Furby doesn't run an orphanage in real life, but she's one of the best GMs over LWO working together with Violet. Okay, let me rephrase that. She doesn't run an orphanage of children in real life. And so it's And they all do something. They all do something that doesn't correlate to their real life. And they don't take their real life and throw it in there, because once you start doing that, it makes it mundane. It makes it feel like a second job. So try to make sure you don't, well, in my real life, this. In the real life way would be this. If we're that strict about it, as far as something having to go a certain way, it's going to be point blank stated in the covenant. If it's not, then it falls under that manager discretion. And we're very point blank on the use of real life when it comes to role play and OOC comments. But Alexia was a perfect example. She's all upset with me now because I used her as an example for something. So that covers that soapbox. Y'all got to bring more questions in Banner. I don't want to cover soapboxes when we do the radio show. Oh, yeah. Mac does not. He is not a cop in real life. He does not need to be in a home either. Well, I don't know. Maybe. He might need to be. No, definitely doesn't need to be in the doghouse, but he may need to be in the home. Alexi's out here throwing beanbags at Art. No. All right, so we don't have any IMs. We don't have any more questions in OOC. I know there's about a 15 to 20 second delay. Yeah, I want chatter that's not going to get us in trouble. And if you had come in on time, then you would have had the option to be unmuted. I didn't say it was your fault. I just said if you had come in on time.
Yeah, not all the mods are muted.
No, I am not muting everyone and listening to that chaos. I'll be like, all right, radio show over, bye, and just disconnect everybody. And there's some people, like I also know that some people like to listen and they don't want to speak. And that's perfectly fine. No, don't hit him. He's dealt with enough. And he actually responded. Throw him a squeaky toy. No, but if that is it, then we're gonna go ahead. Well, it's not really early. It's almost 12:30. Since we haven't had any more questions, we're gonna go ahead and cut it short. Remember, if you are interested in working for CC, you don't have to live in CC to work in CC. You can check our website, and there is a community jobs listing of everything that we're looking to hire right now. Make sure you pay attention to the application buttons. I don't feel like taking applications up and down every time I turn around. So, yes, mods are full. We are keeping applications for mods, though. So if you're interested, get your application submitted and it'll sit on file until we have an opening. The MCSO is not hiring canines right now. They are looking for deputies. They have enough canines to go around, but they need deputies who are comfortable in working with the canines as well. You don't have to know how to do it. They will train you. They will teach you. Jez and Roscoe and the other canines will also go OOC with you to kind of help you get an understanding as well. So again, something you could learn and don't have to be experienced on. We need not even go in there, KJ. The events team is hiring. We are looking for youth specialists. So somebody who likes to work with kids, somebody who can think outside the box. The school is hiring for staff, teachers, coaches, secretaries. CCFD is hiring for EMS and firefighter. They are also super interested in people who are looking to go up the ranks, so dedication is going to be needed for this. And as far as our departments go, CCMH also hiring doctors, nurses, the whole nine. If you want to climb the ladder within the departments, it's the easiest way to climb the ladder within CC. We try to do as minimal of outside hiring as possible when it comes to filling mod and admin positions. So keep that in mind as well. Trying to think of things to carry us over. But dedication is needed. That's where I was going with that. You can't join the fire department or the MCSO, get in, get your training done, sit for 2 to 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden show up for work for 1 day, sit for 2 to 3 weeks, and show up for work. They might not mind having that within their department, but whenever it comes to going through the ranks and getting pushed up through the department or moving on to something that has a little more, I don't like a little more responsibility. Let's go with that. I don't like to say power because I don't want power trip people either, but has a little bit more responsibility and hands-on with the community as a whole. Dedication and activity shows that. So if that's what you're looking for, don't come in and be a fart in the wind because it won't work. Roscoe, you need to talk to Amelie and Hartley about being lead K9. That's, y'all have fun with that. K9 Sergeant. Oh, God bless. Now they're on a real big tangent. All right, guys. So that is going to be it. The dogs are going to go and have a fight. No, you cannot be criminal sergeant. Doesn't go any higher than crime boss. And thank you, Furby has posted a link for the community jobs. I do appreciate that. But you guys have a wonderful afternoon. Any questions for the next one, just go ahead and start throwing them at us. We'll make a list. Bye, guys.